just do our best every day we're here. Live with honesty, purity, and power. And with that, let's get into it. The game is afoot on Sextortion Part 2. The FBI provides the following tips to provide you and your children online. Be selective about what you share online, especially your personal information and passwords. If your social media accounts are open to everyone, a predator may be able to figure out a lot of information about you or your children. And that's probably, a lot of what goes on here. But I think there's a lot of chit chat that goes on here as well. Me, and do you think this? Because you're building what you think is a romantic relationship. So the more you romance with them, the more information you're going to throw out there. So I kind of agree with that, but I kind of think you got to go farther. Be wary of anyone you encounter for the first time online. Block or ignore messages from strangers. That is such a good freaking clue. I get such weird people on Facebook all the time. They don't speak my language. They're from a different part of the country. I really don't understand why you're trying to be my friend if we can't even communicate. And then there's just other ones like, just keep in mind, if it's too good to be true, then it probably isn't. Beware of strangers carrying whatever it is, that old Shakespearean saying. Beware that people can pretend to be anything or anyone online. Videos and photos are not proof that a person who is who they claim to be. Catfish, people. I mean, it's been going on for years. Everybody has to know that what you see online is not real. It could be so easily manipulated and turned against you so quickly. Be suspicious if you meet someone on a game or app and they ask you to start talking to them on a different platform. Now, see, when I was single and I'd be like out there chit-chatting to people and people would be trying to talk to you. And I think even once I was on that Plenty of Fish thing, just checking things out to see what's going on. And you would just get hit on by all these people. Well, it used to be back in the day, you would get, real people, maybe corny people, but they'd be real people. But then all of a sudden the dating sites just turn into trash because they're not real people. So you have to figure out ways of validating the information. Like, when the Nigerian love scheme was going on, I would ask him, who is your favorite football team? Because in America, football to us is the good old pigskin, touchdown, you know, between, much different than outside of other countries, because this is very popular in other countries as well. I don't know how to do it here in America. It seems to show quickly though. But if you ask them, who's your favorite football team? And they come back with Mexico or Madrid or some kind of craziness like that, well, obviously they're from a different country because they don't even have enough common sense to tell you that, you're looking for an American football team. Idiots. Be suspicious if you meet someone on an online game or app and they ask you to start talking to them on a different platform, because I guess WhatsApp is just, so easy to get you out there and manipulate you, lie to you, because these dating sites monitor that kind of stuff. So stay on the dating site. I have a video out there of all that craziness that goes on there too. But stay on the sites where you could be monitored and these people just can't twist you on their little finger and get what they want out of you. I've seen so many people, not just with this instance, but just like lost every dollar. And I've come close to it too myself, because of these idiots online, and they read you and then, they fall into suit. They're chameleons. Encourage your children to report suspicious behavior to a trusted adult. Now, in these scenarios, that's going to be really hard, even if you have a good relationship with your kids. I think once they're out there flirting around in the romantic world, they're going to become more secretive, especially if they're already doing things, where they're ashamed of things that they've done like that already. There's something that's, going to keep them from telling you. So you just got to be on your game, like be on them, be on your game. If you see something, definitely shake it up, find out what's going on. It's your child. You need to know, there's nothing that's going to bring them back if something bad happens. If you believe or someone you know is the victim of sextortion, contact your local FBI field office. Contact information can be found at www.fbi.gov. Again, that's www.fbi.gov. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3, at www.ic3.gov. Again, at www.ic3.gov. And that's I as in igloo, C as in cat. Or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, 1-800-THE-LOST, or Cyber Tip Line, all one word, .org. All of those are resources for you to utilize. Do not delete anything before law enforcement is able to view it. Snapchat it. Not Snapchat it, snapshot it, save it, email it to yourself. You need to keep a copy of this because I guess the way they set up their crap, it's out there for a limited time because they know people are looking at them. So it's harder to find it. But how many websites are you out there on? I have no idea. Tell law enforcement about anything about the encounters you had online. It may be embarrassing, but it's necessary to find the offender. And that's their ultimate purpose. I've even read somewhere they're, manipulating your photos that they get out of, Facebook or off your social media, and manipulating those pictures to make it look like you're doing sexually questionable things. We believe that children are sending more explicit images simply because they've been in lockdown for the past 2 years. Program manager for the National Criminal Justice Training Center at Fox Valley Technical College, retired Lieutenant Joe Laramie, said. Extortion predators can prey on young children and teens just for the explicit photos. In the case of DeMay, officials say it was a manipulation to get money, which DeMay did send, but it wasn't enough. It's never going to be enough, said Laramie. If you send more images, you send more money. Whatever it is, it's never going to be enough. They're always going to ask for more. Sewell says more often than not, the threats these predators give and are nothing more than empty threats. I don't know about that because I do firmly think that you got to buck up right away and just not do the pictures, honestly, because once you do, it's completely out of your control. And you may say empty threats, but you don't know what extent they're going to go to destroy your life because you pissed them off. Some of those narcissists are going to be worse than others because you never know who's going to be preying on you. But like in the case with Amanda Todd, that dude was not going to let go of her. He was going to squeeze her, I think, until he broke her or, had something bad happen to her. 60% of those who are sextorted know who the offender is. Like, what the fuck? Just because you know someone doesn't mean that they aren't a risk to sending your images to others. With more access to internet and apps, experts also say having a conversation with kids about sextortion is critical. So moms and dads, that's just one more thing that you got to put on your list to telling kids about who to look at and who the boogeyman is. But honestly, you got to start them early to beware of this so that when they are teenagers, they have more of a thicker skin. And confidence levels is so important in this, and having some kind of hobby where you can interrelate with kids, or somewhere something to do with kids, or some kind of addition to your life where you're not on the internet. Okay, fine, you want to make singing videos, make a singing videos, but your life cannot revolve around what people are saying about you on the internet. I know that's funny because at the end I'm going to ask you like and subscribe and help me grow my channel. But, I'm putting this out there to assist everybody and maybe save some kids' life. So I'm going to post that information about the phone numbers and stuff here, written in the video, so that if you need that information that you can find it. And there are a lot of people in the United States are doing this, but there's a lot of people around the world. And as I said, the Philippines seems to be a hotbed for this kind of activities. It seems like there's some kind of third world badge of honor and being able to perform these type of nefarious acts on the internet. And by God, I understand you're a third world country. Money's hard to come by. Money's hard to come by for everybody in this world. There's a lot of people you think are rich. They ain't rich. They're living, day to day, one paycheck or one good extortion. Their lives are ruined. And you can see why they would want to kill each other. I live paycheck to paycheck. And, if something like that happened to me, I would lose everything I had. But luckily, ah, I ain't about to do anything like that. That was, raised a whole different era in a whole different way. But, even in my day, there were things that happened to girls. Of course, there always is. And then to men and, to kids. And life can just be bad to certain people. So with that being said, be good to each other, take care of each other, validate your information. If you're going to get online, make sure that you're checking out your potential online date. Don't trust anybody asking you for personal information unless you're validating the site. It's a secured site. It's coming from a secured person that you know about. Just don't hand out information to everybody. I mean, there's so much social media out there and people always wanting to bare their soul and, put it out there. Don't do it. Or really think about it. Think, if I put this out there, what are going to be the repercussions to this later? If I have this image out there and I want to do fans only, which I talked to with some girls that are thinking about doing it. And if I'm out there on fans only and I'm making a lot of money, but it's disrespecting to my soul and to my body, is it really going to be worth it? I mean, there's people out there who don't mind it. I mean, there's people out there, you can threaten them, with sextortion. They'll be like, hey, fuck you, post my picture as much as you want to. I don't give a flying shit. In a way, if you get put in that position, you almost got to get mentally prepared for that to happen. I mean, it's better than letting this person run your life. Pretty soon, I guess, if you get yourself in that position, you might realize you're going to have to buck up and have the cojones to say, look, post the fucking pictures. I don't care. But anyway, with that being said, love you all. Grow my channel here. I'm hoping that you appreciate it and appreciate any information I put out there for you. Please like and subscribe, hit that alert button. And I love you all. Stay safe. If you see something, say something. More than anything, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself and, provide that little bit of self-care. Listen to that video, do a meditation. I have to do all of this at night when I'm going to bed. I don't have time during the day, but I'm trying to get it done. Burn some sage, talk to God, whatever makes you feel good, do it, as long as it's within reason, legal, and kind. Love you all. See you next Monday.